Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today's video I'm going to talk about Saturn transit in Pisces and its impact on Libra rising. Anybody with a Libra rising, Libra ascendant, Libra lagna or moon in Libra. This video is applicable for all of them. So this transit happened on the 29th of March 2025. So before I talk about what is coming next, how are the next 2.5 years for you Libra people, let me just give you a walkthrough on what happened 2.5 years prior to 29th of March. So guys, I've shared my email address and I've shared my contact details in the description of this video. Anyone wants to connect with me over a discussion around your chart, you can connect with me on WhatsApp or on my email. So let's go back to the transit. So during then, prior to 29th of March, Saturn was transiting in your 5th house. Okay, so in terms of relationship, it was a good time. People who were single, they could find a romantic partner. The people who are already in a relationship, they have seen steady improvement in their relationship. The next thing is about the children. So you faced good things related to your kids. It was a good time when you had a good relationship with your kids. Now the next thing is about the education. Education wise, it was a good time. Okay, now the next thing is about the speculation. So in terms of speculation, if you had been investing in stock market, you've seen good results. Okay, you've seen good gains from the stock market, from cryptocurrency or any kind of speculation. So but the next thing is that the aspects of Saturn, okay, were not very good. Like they were not good. They were on the house of its enemy. They were on the house of Mars as well as Sun. So Saturn had a debilitated aspect on the house of your marriage, which means you faced issues around your marriage. There were conflicts, there were disputes. Okay, there were some issues with your marriage, some issues with your spouse. You faced issues around your business partnership. You had issues with your business partner. There were some conflicts. Okay, you faced issues with the gains. You faced issues with your desires. Okay, the gains were delayed. The desires were not fulfilled. The gains were not fulfilled. There was issues around your professional network, your social network, your connections. You faced issues with the close family. So in terms of your relationship, it was a romantic relationship, it was a good time. Now in terms of other things, which is the your every other area where the Saturn was aspecting, those were not those were difficult times. Now let's talk about what is happening in the next 2.5 years, since after 29th of March 2025. So guys, this is going to be a beautiful transit for you people. I would request you to watch this video till the end. So now Saturn would now be transiting in your 6th house. So first thing I would like to tell you that Saturn is the extremely auspicious planet for Libra people, because Saturn lords the Kendra as well as the Cone. Saturn lords the 4th house as well as the 5th house in your chart. So therefore Saturn is the most Yoga-karak planet for you. Now Saturn is a malefic planet and 6th house is a malefic house. Therefore malefic planet, when transits in a malefic house, it produces excellent results. Now Saturn has a character trait wherein Saturn, wherever it sits or wherever it transits, okay, it brings expansion in that area. However, the aspects, the houses it aspects, it creates problems in that. This time, the transit is excellent as well as the aspects are all on Saturn's friends' houses. So that's why I'm saying it's a beautiful transit. Now let's talk about what is this transit bringing for you. So as I said, Saturn is now transiting in your 6th house, which means you would be able to get rid of your debts. You would be able to manage your debt very well. Okay, you might be thinking right now, if you have a huge amount of debt, how would you able to control it? I mean, how would you able to get rid of that? But Saturn in 6th house, it increases its energy. I mean, it's at its absolute best when it comes to these malefic houses. So Saturn will help you clear off the debt. Now that's one good thing. Now your health would improve. If there is any kind of disease, if there is any kind of illness, you are facing, you would see that Saturn will help you get rid of that. So overall, your health would improve. Now, in terms of competition, this is an excellent time, guys. Be it competition at work, wherein you are applying for an IJP, where 50, 60 other people are applying, you would be able to, beat your competition. Okay, it could be a job outside the company. In a new company you're applying, and there are more people who are applying. You would be able to beat your competition. Now, in terms of your business, you would be able to beat your competitors. In terms of education, where somebody is applying for some kind of a written exam, for some entrance exam, for a graduation or a post graduation, you would be able to beat your competition. So in terms of competition, you would be at your absolute best. Now, this is about the enemies. So you would be able to defeat your enemies. Now, the next thing is about the daily schedule, the daily routine. So this is also the house of daily routine. So what you would see that your daily routine would get lot of like it will become very, very efficient. The daily routine, the things which you do on day-to-day basis. So I mean, if you're facing with any kind of legal issues, legal challenges, you would either be able to get rid of those challenges. Okay, you would be like out of those like legal issues, or you would be victorious. So in terms of sixth house, you're completely protected. Now let's talk about the aspects of Saturn. So the Saturn's first aspect would be on a malefic house, okay, which is the eighth house. Now that's the house of Venus, which is the best friend of Saturn. Now, so what would happen when Saturn is aspecting in the eighth house, which means there is a high probability that you would inherit. It could be wealth, it could be real estate, it could be anything, but you would inherit. There's a high probability during this time. Now, this is the house of research, and guys, we all know that what is the importance of research in today's times. I mean, like something which others don't know. That means in the next 2.5 years, like if you do research, you would be a master in that. And then you can understand, like, if you've done research in some area related to your business, your profession, okay, what is the prospects around monetization of that research? So in terms of research, excellent time, guys. I mean, pick up anything of your choice, be it beauty, be it fashion, be it anything around, food, health, anything you like. Anything you like to do research on, just give it allocate some little time during the day, maybe during the week. You would see excellent outcome of that. Now, the next thing is this house is about the transformation. So definitely, here you would see that with each passing day, you are transforming into a better person. And maybe this research which you do, that transforms you into a beautiful person, a much, much better person. So like every day you would see, transformation is happening, and you're going north. Now, and if you've been struggling with any kind of addiction, okay, maybe smoking, maybe drinking, maybe drugs, maybe food, maybe social media. These days, even social media is also an addiction. So if you've been struggling, any kind of like addiction, you would be able to quit that addiction during this time. So that's such a a beautiful time in the next 2.5 years. Now, the next aspect would be on your 12th house, which is again the house of Mercury. Okay, which means, guys, like there would be expenditures. Okay, there would be expenditures, but those expenditures would be on good things. Those expenditures would be on like your health, and health is today, a very, very big asset, and it's an expensive thing to maintain these days. Like, health requires, those gym membership fee, those, superfoods, those super fruits, those, supplements. Okay. So health, yes, is an expensive asset, but, expenditure is being done on your own health. That's a good thing. Okay, there would be expenditures on very good social causes like charity, like any kind of donations. So good, good expenditures would be done, which is good for you. Okay, the next aspect would be on your third house. Okay, which is the house of your communication. That house belongs to Jupiter, and Saturn has a neutral relationship with Jupiter. So that particular house, it means that there is a high probability that you would get, and the 10th aspect of Saturn is a karmic aspect, which means during this time there is a probability that you would get into a business with your siblings. Okay, that's the house of communication, writing. Anybody, here you would see there's a lot of improvement in your communication, in your writing skills. So anybody into professions around communication, which could be you are a consultant, you are a social media influencer, or anything related to communication or writing, they would see a lot of success in the next 2.5 years. Now, this is the house of short-term travel. So, guys, you would have beautiful short-term travels in the next 2.5 years. Now, this is also the house of hobbies. So, anybody interested in pursuing your hobbies during this, transit, you would be able to pursue that. So that's mostly I want to talk about this transit, guys. For Libra and for Taurus. Saturn is a very Yokarak planet, so this is going to be a beautiful transit for you. The next 2.5 years would be beautiful. Okay, now let's talk about who gets the impact of this transit, because a lot of people, ask me. So one, the Libra rising passing through with Saturn times, passing through with Saturn Mahadasha, Saturn Antardasha, they would definitely see the impact. Of whatever I am saying, you would see 100% of the impact. Now, the next thing is people with Libra rising not passing through with Saturn times. They would also see the impact. It would be little milder. However, you would definitely see the impact of this transit. Why? Because, Saturn is a planet which moves, which transits into a different house after every 2.5 years. So that's a long, long period of time. So technically, all Libra ascendants, all Libra rising would see this impact, would see all the good things in the next 2.5 years. So that's mostly what I wanted to talk about, guys. The only thing, I missed telling you is that, third house is also the house of your in-laws. I mean, the eighth house is also the house of your in-laws. Okay. And third aspect is about the communication. So also please keep, have a dialogue or keep communicating with your in-laws. So that's mostly what I wanted to talk about this video, guys. So if you've liked this video, please press the subscription, press the bell notification, and Libra ascendants, I would request you to write your comments, because your comments really validates my effort. So that's mostly for today, guys. Thanks a lot for your time, and you have a great evening. Thank you.